Here I sit, incredibly confused again. I was damn sure confused this morning in the video about Angel Reese and the WNBA. I have been off my game all day today. I don't know if I'm exhausted. Clearly, I lost my ability to count and read this morning because I absolutely butchered the amount of nationally televised games between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese when comparing them. One of my channel members, Spence, he pointed it out for me. I appreciate that, Spence, but in my defense, it can get confusing counting nationally televised games in the WNBA. The dump airs on what feels like dozens of networks: ESPN, ESPN Trace, Amazon Prime, NBA TV, ABC, CBS, CBS Sports Network, something called ION. When you're looking at the schedule, it feels like you're reading a damn eye chart. But to hell with the dump. That's not why I'm confused this afternoon. For years now, maybe even decades, deacons at Woke United Methodist have preached to us about the importance of global warming, or as they are now calling it, climate change. I guess they quit referring to it as global warming and started using the vague term climate change because the snow kept falling in the winter. Here in the Deep South, we had over 8 inches of snow just this year. Kinda hard to convince people that the earth is on the verge of spontaneous combustion when it's snowing in the Gulf, formerly known as Mexico. Anyway, the deacons have been preaching about climate change for years now. We have been told that our farts are very dangerous, unless, of course, the flatulence is coming from the whoopee cushion on The View. In that case, the boodle breeze is here for your sniffing pleasure. Remember when they were obsessed with cow flatulence? With Buttercup's flatulence being so toxic, I would assume that's why the deacons have always hated Chick-fil-A. All these years, I thought the deacons hated Chick-fil-A for religious reasons, but as it turns out, they're angry because Chick-fil-A refuses to butcher Buttercup for lunch. We've also been told that fossil fuels are dangerous for Mother Earth. We have been told that brooms are a better form of transportation than airplanes. We have been told to spend $70,000 on electric vehicles, but it's strange. It's confusing. It's kind of hard to buy a Tesla when they're being set on fire. Now, I'm no expert in marketing, but I doubt it's encouraging people to buy Teslas after seeing video of Franklin She-Her removing his hand from his favorite bodily orifice and wiping the remnants of his boodle breeze on the driver's side door. Since January, there have been dozens of attacks on Teslas and Tesla dealerships, with more protests scheduled this coming weekend. Instead of condemning these random acts of violence, or as the deacons would call them, peaceful protest. Instead of condemning these attacks, deacons and parishioners at Woke United Methodist, they are celebrating. The Tesla's on fire. This is great. Surprisingly, these celebrations of debauchery have pissed off CNN. Over the weekend, some dude named Michael Smerconish, who apparently hosts a dump on CNN that no one watches, Michael Smerconish, he condemned the attacks against Tesla and Elon Musk. And like we talked about this morning on the second channel with Gabby Newsom, I think we're starting to see a noticeable split in the Democratic Party. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Sugar Mountain Trading. Are you struggling with back problems? Do you deal with minor aches, minor pains throughout your day, and you don't want to go to the doctor because all the doctor's going to do is find something else wrong with you, or even worse, prescribe addictive medication that you don't want to take. Me personally, I hate going to the doctor. So does my wife, who actually deals with back pain, which is why she started using CBD lotions and oils from Sugar Mountain Trading. Now, this is not THC. This is not going to make you fail a drug test. These CBD lotions and oils, they are designed for rapid pain relief. Like I said, my wife deals with nagging back pain from time to time. Tried over-the-counter stuff. We have tried the chiropractor. None of it ever seemed to work. Within 5 minutes of me applying CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain Trading, her pain was gone. I'm telling you, it is damn near magical. Sugar Mountain Trading also offers CBD bar soap that will keep you pain-free and smelling fresh at the same time. Bar soap comes in a variety of scents ranging from lavender to cherry almond. All CBD products offered at Sugar Mountain Trading 100% natural, 100% free of THC. So click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL20. BTL20. Save 20% off your first purchase with Sugar Mountain Trading. Last week, some doofus named Jordan Klepper was hosting The Daily Show on Comedy Central. Well, Casey, who in the hell is John Klepper? Well, John Klepper is the dude credited for inventing the toilet, even though his first name was actually Tom. Jordan Klepper is responsible for using this invention to flush his comedic turds. Several years ago, Comedy Central gave him a late-night talk show where he was given the freedom to make fun of normal people. It was called The Opposition with Jordan Klepper. The problem was there was no opposition because no one was watching this garbage. Comedy Central canceled the show after one season. Now imagine my surprise. Just imagine my surprise when I discovered that Travis Noah was the executive producer of this late night dump. If there is one thing that Travis does best, it's being a huge embarrassing failure. But that's okay. 1 year later, Comedy Central gave Jordy another chance. The thinking was, since no one was watching his show in the studio, they would put Jordy on the street and have him approach normal people. After 8 episodes, Comedy Central decided that there is no amount of polish that would make this turd appealing, and they canceled the show again. I guess it makes sense now as to why Jordan Klepper was hosting The Daily Show a failure last week. Outside of Jon Stewart, everyone who hosts this show is synonymous with huge embarrassing failure. Anyway, Jordan Klepper, he's hosting The Daily Show last week. Jordy and the audience, they were celebrating the fact that Teslas keep spontaneously combusting. Surprisingly, Michael Smerconish at CNN, he had a serious problem with these celebrations. Watch for yourself.
Some people are not content to just scream about Elon in a high school gym. They're taking to the streets or the parking lots.
Tonight, the FBI and ATF now investigating multiple cases of possible arson targeting Teslas and Cybertrucks.
This dramatic video shows multiple cars in flames. Police say the attacker used Molotov cocktails. It's the latest in more than a dozen instances of arson and vandalism.
Tesla Cybertrucks were set on fire in Kansas City, and earlier this month, shots fired at a Tesla dealership in Oregon. Cybertrucks on fire in Seattle.
Wow, you guys like petty acts of domestic terrorism, huh?
Crowd's reaction reminds me of those who cheered for Luigi Mangione after he was charged for the murder of a healthcare executive. This is a lot more than a business story. The question becomes, what do you do about the perpetrators? And discussing it on my Sirius XM radio program this week, I was surprised at the number of my callers eager to rationalize all the violence. It's just that an innocent electric car, once the symbol of proud progressives trying to save the planet, has become the focus of misplaced hate. Next Saturday, on March 29, protesters around the world will participate in a Tesla takedown with 500 demonstrations at Tesla showrooms. As one Instagram post has it, let's send these techno-fascist, broligarchs, and old-fashioned Nazis a message loud and clear. Harsh words, if only it remained just words. Unfortunately, some anti-Muskers believe actions speak louder. And so around the world, people are attacking Teslas.
First of all, the audience reaction to this is absolutely disgusting. I liked how Michael Smerconish compared it to the audience reactions that we were seeing several months ago to that loogie dude. This is one of the biggest problems right now in the Democratic Party. Michael Smerconish asked an important question. What do you do about the perpetrators? What do you do about the people responsible for carrying out these attacks against Tesla and Elon Musk? Now, I know how most normal people would answer, put their ass in jail! But there is a sizable portion of the Democratic Party that just doesn't feel that way. And I think it's causing a split in the party. For the first time in years, we are starting to see some Democrats shift towards the middle. Not only that, they are speaking about it publicly. Earlier this morning, we talked about the transformation of Gabby Newsom. For years, Gabby has been fighting for your right to transition. Male to female, female to male, non-binary Nate to two-spirit lyric. Gabby has been an advocate for transitioning. Hell, he even practices what he preaches because Gabby is now attempting to transition from lunatic to normal person. And look, it's not only Gabby that is starting to speak sensibly. Yesterday morning, Bernard Sanders, hey, it's me, Bernie! Yesterday morning, Bernard was interviewed on ABC. Right before he stormed out of the interview after John Carl asked if he needed to change his diaper, Bernard said some things about immigration that weren't necessarily aligned with the woke commandments. Watch it for yourself.
Is there anything that you think Trump has done right?
Yeah, I mean, I think cracking down on fentanyl, making sure our borders are stronger. Look, nobody thinks that illegal immigration is appropriate, but I don't think that it's appropriate for people to be coming across the border illegally.
But you know, illegal immigration, it exploded under Biden, and it had been high for times under Trump as well, but it exploded under Biden, and nothing was really done until his last year in office when he was...
Yep, should have done much better, no argument.
Do you remember hearing things like this last year? Do you remember anyone from the far left complimenting the Trumper during his first term? Hell, Bernard just insinuated that Johnny B. Biden's immigration policy was a disaster. We are starting to see more and more of this. We are starting to see leaders of the Democratic Party saying things that actually makes sense. We are starting to see leaders of the Democratic Party trying to be more appealing to normal people. The problem is their radical base. Over the next 12 months, I think we could see a split in the Democratic Party. I think guys like Josh Shapiro, Bernie the Sanders, Gabby Newsom, I think these dudes know that they can't win by embracing the woke wiener. That dog won't hunt. Hell, that dog wants to be a cat. I think we could see Democratic leaders subtly distancing themselves from deacons at Woke United Methodist, distancing themselves from AOC or Omar Elon, Rashida Tlaib. Question is, how will the deacons handle it? Because you know they are not going to go away quietly. Teslas are being set on fire because Elon Musk is saving the country billions of dollars. How are they going to react when they're being betrayed by their own party? You tell me, do you think I'm onto something here? In full transparency, I have been off my game all day today. I have been getting details wrong. I can't count games in the WNBA, so maybe I'm way off base here, but there seems to be a subtle shift amongst the Democrats. If that is the case, if key leaders are trying to be more appealing to normal people, how will the radicals respond? Because for the Democrats to have a chance, they have got to distance themselves from the shit fucks. So how will they respond? Could this potentially split the party, which I think could make it easier for Republicans to win again? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.